Hi and welcome to the Cloaked Hedgehog's YouTube channel. Today I'm going to introduce you to a creature, a possible cryptid that you may have heard of, you may not, and there might be a connection between this thing and dogmen, or at the very least skinwalkers. And I will give you some more information on this creature at a later time. But we're going to go over the basics now. Pale, naked, human-like creature crawling close to the ground. Limbs seem unnaturally skinny and long. There's a stench of blood, copper, rotten flesh, other horrible things. It mimics sounds, voices, sometimes a whole person. What is this? Most stories I've read about this possibly new cryptid were posted on Reddit under Skinwalkers. But is it a skinwalker? There are similarities. There's the stench, the mimicry, but still, one could argue that maybe many of the stories on Reddit are fake or fiction. True, many might be, but even if many are, that still leaves a few. And Reddit is not the only place I've read about these things. This creature very closely resembles a character referred to as the rake. The problem with this is that the rake is not supposed to be real. It's a creepypasta invention that began on the 4chan image board when they were trying to create a new monster. This is how they described it. Humanoid, about 6 feet tall when standing, but usually crouches and walks on all fours. It has very pale skin. The face is blank, as in no nose, no mouth. However, it has 3 solid green eyes, one in the middle of its forehead, and the other 2 on either side of its head towards the back. Usually seen in front yards in suburban areas. Usually just watches the observer, but will stand up and attack if approached. When it attacks, a mouth opens up, as if a hinged skull that opens at the chin reveals many tiny but dull teeth. Alright, that's what they made up. The creature people are actually seeing, though, looks very similar to this, but not exactly like this. Is it possible that the people at 4chan didn't create this thing, but instead tap into the collective consciousness somehow, picking up on a creature people really are seeing? Or was it in fact created, like a tulpa, a physically manifested thought form created by a group of people? Either way, people are seeing it, and it's not a happy sight. The sightings appear very similar, even though the circumstances may differ. 1. A group of people are in the forest, usually camping. 2. Horrible smell permeates the air. Then 3a. One person walks into the woods by him or herself and returns seemingly changed. Or 3b. The group suddenly discover there's an extra person among them. 4. Person returning / new person is acting strange. He or she says very little. They sound strange when they do speak, and their emotions and movements seem jerky and off. The face looks either expressionless and slack-jawed, or has an unsettling grin. This strange person is very eager to bring one other person back into the woods with them. In the cases where anything is seen, it seems to be the aforementioned pale, naked, humanoid creature. Sometimes people will hear a voice in the woods trying to mimic what they just said, but in a voice that doesn't seem to be completely human. Some have described it as when a cat sounds like it's saying words. There are videos here on YouTube. I can't be bothered to find them, but there are talking cat videos, and it's said to sound something like that. And lastly, if a person has been taken over permanently, he or she starts behaving in peculiar ways, withdrawing from everyone, and they only seem to eat raw meat. Nice. This creature, on Reddit at least, has been given the name Fleshgait. And I know it's a stupid play on words on the word skinwalker. There may be a connection to skinwalkers though, which you might hear in future episodes, but still it's a stupid name, but it's the only one we have for now, unless we want to call it the rake, which we know is faked, but rake or Fleshgait. Those are the names we're going with for the moment. This creature, this Fleshgait, is described as a pale, possibly yellow, possibly white creature with not much in the way of facial features. It's basically humanoid in shape, very lanky, emaciated even. It stands between 5 and 8 feet tall when it's upright. And when it is upright, it has a tendency to lean on things. I don't know if it's not supposed to be standing upright. Usually it tends to crawl around on all fours. It can move very fast, and it has jerky movements. It's usually bald, but sometimes it has stringy hair. Its forearms are longer than those of a human, and so are its lower legs. It's also said to be able to mimic human speech. So, is this a skinwalker? It could be. I have this little theory that could make some kind of sense, but I'm not sure if it does. Here we go. 1. Evil witch of shamanic persuasion creates a tulpa, which is a manifested thought form that Tibetan monks are said to be especially known for creating. And this witch creates this tulpa, which is an alter ego of sorts that he can then dress in skins and place his own consciousness into, enabling him to fly, run, swim, move around in ways that his physical human body cannot. This is the basic concept of the skinwalker. But the Navajo are not the only ones with these traditions. The concept exists in all shamanic belief systems worldwide. What would this tulpa look like undressed, so to speak? Its basic form. The tulpa should be able to take on different forms, therefore its base form should be relatively neutral, probably a reflection of the evil witch himself, humanoid. 2. The whole idea of a tulpa is to create a thought form with your mind and feed it enough etheric energy that it can manifest physically. I have no idea how this happens, so don't ask. But this is the concept. You create something in your mind and you pour etheric energy into this until it actually manifests. That's how it's described anyway. When the tulpa is fully manifested, what does it need to sustain itself? A physical tulpa, does it need physical energy now? Like flesh? Or does it keep getting etheric energies from its creator? And once the tulpa has manifested, how connected is it to its creator? Apparently, as long as its creator lives, it's bound to do its bidding. But what happens if the creator dies? Does the tulpa die? If not, Does it continue its existence, now a free individual, surviving on the energies of this material world, physical, actual food? Would it need to hunt to sustain itself? 3. The Fleshgait. Naked humanoid, crawling around, stinky, can move very fast, can take over other people. What if this is the masterless Tulpa? What if the taking over other people part is something it remembered its master doing to it? What if it's evil just because it was created that way and that's all it's ever known? Kind of like Jessica Rabbit. 4. The Wendigo. I'll probably do a whole show on the Wendigo in the future because there's so much to say on that, but very briefly I can say that it's Algonquin mythology. It's the spirit of the lonely places. It's associated with cannibalism, but it's only cannibalism if you eat your own species. What if the creature Wendigo was never human per se, just created by one? 5. Skinwalkers. Well, this is obvious. It's a Tulpa dressed in a skin with a living master/creator calling the shots. 6. Dogmen. The most common skin used by the master to dress the Tulpa. No wonder people sense its evil considering the consciousness that inhabits it. Just want to say that no, I don't think that all dogmen are skinwalkers. I actually think that there are many different things that fall into the dogman category, but I think they can be quite different from each other. But dogman is the closest we can get to describing them. So I think there are skinwalkers. I don't want to dwell on skinwalkers too much, but I think that some dogmen are skinwalkers. And I'm wondering if these fleshgaits that people see who are described as rake-like creatures, if they could be masterless tulpas, or if they are tulpas in general who just haven't been dressed in a skin. I also have a few posts that I might read to you soon about some experiences a friend of mine had with skinwalkers, and she also encountered these fleshgate creatures in relation to that a lot. So there is definitely a connection between fleshgates and skinwalkers and dogmen. Just not sure what that connection is yet. So, this was a very brief introduction to the Fleshgate. There will be mentions of this Fleshgate in the future, so thus I did the crash course version now, so you'll at least know that it could be connected somehow. So anyway, this was about all for today, but I just want to say that I am so overwhelmed by the responses I got from my little request in the last vlog about sending positive energy my way. Gosh, you people are just amazing. Oh, you have no idea how much it means. I love you. I just really love you people. I just have the most awesome listeners or viewers or whatever you want to call yourselves. I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Did I mention thank you? All right. Time to get out of here. For anyone wondering, no, the situation hasn't resolved. It's not going to resolve for quite some time, and it's actually not even really started yet. It's just something that I know is gonna happen, and it won't be good when it does. But never mind. I can't talk about stuff while they're still going on. I can't. I might mention it afterwards, but it might be a few months. Yeah, months. And if I suddenly disappear, that's because it started for real, and I intend to hopefully come back. It's just really hard right now. But we'll see. I'll keep posting about once a week, like I have been since I started this vlog part. So, that's it. Be safe and take care, and I'll see you next time.